Your budget was out of date the day you wrote it. Last year's numbers do not survive this year's prices, and most people never notice until the money is gone. Here is the strange part. You did everything right. You sat down, you listed your bills. You gave every pound a job. It felt neat, it felt safe. Then reality quietly changed the rules while you were not looking. Prices do not stand still, but budgets do. That is the whole problem in one sentence. When you write down that your weekly shop costs 40 pounds, you have taken a photograph of one moment. The shop keeps moving. The photograph does not. A few months later, the same trolley costs 45, then 48, and your plan still says 40. The gap has to come from somewhere. Usually it comes from your savings, or worse, from a card. Think about the sneaky costs first. Your streaming service nudged up a pound. Your phone contract crept up with inflation, because a lot of contracts are allowed to. Your energy standing charge shifted. None of these feel big on their own. That is exactly why they work. A pound here and 2 pounds there feels like nothing, but stacked across a dozen bills, it becomes a real hole. You are not overspending, your prices grew, and your plan did not grow with them. Now let us talk about the biggest liar in your budget, the word estimate. When you guess a number for groceries or petrol or eating out, you tend to guess low. Not because you are silly, but because you remember the good weeks and forget the bad ones. Your brain saves the cheap memory and bins the expensive one. So your estimate is basically your best case pretending to be your average. Real life is not a best case. There is also the surprise line, the tire that needs replacing, the vet, the school trip. These are not really surprises. Something in this category happens most months. You just do not know which one. A budget with no room for the unknown is a budget that breaks the first time life does anything at all. So what actually works? First, stop budgeting from memory. Open your bank app and look at what you truly spent over the last 3 months. Then divide by 3. That average is your real number, not the hopeful one in your head. It will sting. Let it. That sting is the truth arriving on time for once. Second, build a line called buffer. Not savings, not fun money, just slack. Even 20 or 30 pounds a month that has no name. When a price creeps up, the buffer absorbs it instead of your emergency fund. Think of it as suspension on a car. The road is bumpy no matter what. The buffer is what stops every bump reaching your spine. Third, review on a schedule, not on a panic. Most people only check their budget when a payment bounces. By then, the damage is done. Pick 1 day a month, 10 minutes. Compare what you planned against what happened and adjust the plan to match reality. You are not failing when the numbers move. You are supposed to move with them. A budget is a living thing. Treat it like a plant, not a tattoo. Here is a mindset shift that helps. Your budget is not a promise you make to yourself. It is a hypothesis you test. You are guessing how money will flow, then checking if you were right. When you are wrong, that is data, not shame. The people who stay in control are simply the ones who update fastest. Let us make this concrete. Say your plan gave you 300 pounds for food. The real average turned out to be 340. You have 2 honest choices. Find 40 pounds somewhere else on purpose, or accept that food is now 340 and cut the fantasy. What you cannot do is keep writing 300 and feeling bad every month. That is not a budget. That is a monthly disappointment on a spreadsheet. And watch out for the invisible raise. Sometimes your pay goes up a little, and every cost goes up a little more. So it feels like you got poorer despite earning more. That is not you being bad with money. That is the mass of rising prices doing exactly what it does. The fix is not to earn your way out and hope. The fix is to see it, name it, and plan for it. So the takeaway is simple. Rebuild your budget on the last 3 months of real spending, add a buffer line for the creep, and review it for 10 minutes once a month. Do that and your budget stops breaking in silence. It bends, it flexes, and it survives the year. If this made the money in your head feel a little clearer, hit subscribe. We draw one of these every week, one stick man at a time.